Okay. Hey, everybody, what is that? What is that?
Which
Oh,
of
that's me.
these
That's me.
700
Jeepers. I'm like, what is
attachments?
that?
Oh, there it is in the bottom.
What is that? I was like, what is my noise? Oh my God.
I've figured that out for years.
Could you get on my Facebook and share the video to the to Living Atlanta and to Just Steph? Thank you.
My first call ever as a member of the National Guard. When we got to the armory, they briefed us on the wildfires.
1 minute.
We're getting dangerously close to homes.
Jeepers.
Helicopters flying out to drop water on the fires. Guys, the unit will prepare for firefighting. Local fire crew. At that moment, I got my first
Why am I not downloading
just
the
how
blog?
important the Guard is to my
Oh.
community.
Freedom number 1 with the 3s. Capital F.
Georgia National Guard, prepared by the Georgia Association of Broadcasters and the station. From fire protection
Okay.
and first aid
30.
supplies to
Oh,
facility
my goodness.
I'm
Hey, everybody.
so-
It's me, Just Steph. I'm back in the ATL. Oh my gosh, I have Lisa, Rayner Catherall here, and my dear
Hi,
friend Rusty.
everybody.
Where have you been?
At the farm.
Mad at you.
I cannot download this. How big is this clock?
Okay.
We'll have to wait.
Download the free TuneIn app from your phone or tablet's app store. TuneIn with music, sports, news, and comedy from over 70,000 radio stations around the world, including this Beasley Broadcast Group station. Check it out at TuneIn.com or your app.
I'm never going out of style.
This is the Just Steph Show. I'm your host, Steph.
Yeah, you get used to it.
Shows you how to enjoy life. Right here on Real 1100 AM. Tune in weekly for tips on enhancing your life
right.
and balancing body, mind, and heart.
What? Oh, my God. Nothing but class. I know.
Hey, this is Steph Palermo, and it's the Just Steph Show. Everybody has 2 lives. The second one begins when you realize you only have one. We are second lifers. We're empty nesters, newly single, and those starting over. Age 3, you're healthy, happy, hip years are just beginning. And the bat phone is connected, so give me a buzz to chat today, 404-603-8770. Tell me what's going on in your life. I want to hear from you. And you can also message us on Facebook and on Instagram, and we'll try to get to it during the break. And today in the studio, my favorite co-host in the whole wide world, Rusty Newport. Hey, Rusty.
Good morning, Red.
Yeah, I know.
What they when you break the Boston barrier, your hair turns red?
Oh my gosh, I know. I'm spending a lot of time at home, baby.
Yes, you are. We know.
Yeah, I know. It's great.
Looks good.
Thank you. I'm happy. I'm so happy you're here.
Well,
I
yeah.
missed
Good
you.
morning, everybody.
I know. I love having you here in the studio. It's comfort. It's like mac and cheese. You know what I mean? It's like comfort food. You know.
That's a southern thing. We
Yeah.
understand.
Well, see, I've
you're
assimilated.
learning. You're learning. Well, I wouldn't go that far, but you're definitely learning. So we're proud of you.
All right. So also, I am so thrilled, honored. I'm so happy you're here. Lisa Rayner Catherall, thank you for being here today.
Thanks for the invitation.
Yes, and Lisa is a local publicist, media mogul, whatever, all doing all that. And she's also a new author of, can we say it?
Yes, Shelf Life of a Trophy Wife.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice. We're going to hear all about that. That's
All right,
exciting.
Rusty, your
Ma'am.
name sounds like an old boatyard up north.
No, there's nothing up north about my
Listen,
name.
I have a T-shirt that says "What every girl wants is old and rusty." That was.
So when I get old, that'll be appropriate.
Yeah.
Not before.
I love it, Rusty Newport.
He's the best. Oh, you went to UGA, right?
I did.
Oh, I knew there was something I liked about
the
you.
dog.
All right, go dogs.
Go dogs.
Come on.
My son graduated from Georgia too, so
No.
yay. So we have yay. Not me though. I'm a Boston girl.
Here we go.
Hey, at least I went to college.
Most.
Yeah, I know. Tell me about it. All right. So what did everybody do this weekend? Did you do anything fun?
Not big fun. We had put Miss Thing, went up to Kansas City to visit the fam for the Persian New Year. They're all been out celebrating.
Nice.
Noodles Tava like everybody who celebrates. So kicked off a great New Year yesterday. So I had
Fun.
the house to myself and no parties.
Yay. So you didn't have a
Here,
party?
we go on the record, there were no parties at my house while my wife was gone.
Yeah,
All right, so there you go.
I love it. So you just hung home?
I did. We're getting ready to liquidate the farm.
Yeah, I heard that.
I know.
Yeah.
So it's been a hassle. We've been working congenially with the developers next door,
Selling off some
we're
land.
not.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Where you moving? Are you gonna move
We're
closer to me?
heading this way. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, thank
I
God.
tell you, it's after
Oh,
spending an
my
hour and
God.
a half on 75 this morning.
Thank God.
Yes, anywhere below 285.
Thank you. Oh,
So,
God, I
know,
love that.
ITP.
What did you do, Lisa?
I was at Watercolor, the
Oh.
beach
Oh.
of Seaside.
Well, you look like you had a tan. I didn't know if it was like spray tan or whatever. I said, oh, she's got a nice tan.
No, I don't do anything unnatural. I don't spray.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I know, I love the sun myself. So,
Mhm.
oh, good. So you were chilling. Well, I was in Boston, and
You were chilling.
well, it was cold up there,
Shocker.
but you know what? We had a snow day up there, and it was awesome.
You can see in the pictures of DC, it's covered.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, everybody was mad, and I was so happy because I was like, yay, it's snow day. Like, we watched movies, and we had food, and like 2
Aw.
o'clock, it was like, anybody want a cocktail?
You waited until 2
drinking.
o'clock?
Yeah, it was so fun. Well, that was Eddie, thank
Oh,
God. He
wow.
goes, I think I'll have a drink.
Yeah, it's about
He was
time.
like-
Yeah, clock
yeah, I
is
think he was
ticking.
tired of just being with me.
Well, you know.
So, anyway, it's crazy. But I went to some great places. There's such good food up there. I was at Cafe Italia on Friday, which is in Wakefield, and Oys. And then Saturday, we went to a new restaurant in East Boston, which is right near the airport, called Craft Table and Bar, and that was awesome. Then we headed to Zeke's, and then Sunday we were at the at Valari's and Javelli's before I got dropped off at the airport.
I forgot, what'd you do for St. Pat's? You were out there.
I was.
Playing.
Yeah. You know what? I took my nieces out for breakfast,
All right.
and then I worked out, and then I worked a little bit, and then
You didn't work on the holiest day of the year.
I know, I did. You know what? I've been working, like, even if I do a couple of hours on a Sunday or Saturday, that's what I've been doing. I've been actually trying to just do that because it's been so busy, and which is great. It's a lot of fun, and just sort of building the business and trying to grow.
Nice.
And then Eddie and I went out to Craft Table and Bar, but then afterwards we went to Zeke's, which was my high school. That's where they had the band, and they
Oh,
were doing the
fun.
St. Patrick's Day stuff.
I was going to say, I bet St. Patrick's is very big up in Boston.
It is
Yeah,
second,
but,
second largest
But
part
I'm
behind
Sicilian.
Yeah,
I'm
Savannah.
I know, but I'm Sicilian, so.
You're from, what'd you say?
No, it's Savannah.
Oh,
has a-
Savannah, yeah.
They
Well,
drive the river
except,
green.
except for this year because of our unrequited guest, but, yeah.
Well,
Uh,
Boston has a huge St. Patrick's Day
yeah.
gig. They have the parade in South Boston and all of that, but that's really not my hood. So it's not really my part of town, and I probably would never go there.
What? That's right.
No, I would
We
go
only
there
can
to
mix the
eat.
Irish and the Italian.
Well, you know, I
especially-
mean, I wouldn't go there for St. Patrick's Day because it's not where I would go, but it's not like South Boston is actually really lovely. They have lots of new and fun restaurants.
Nice.
You know, it's like if you watch Good Will Hunting, that was
That was South Boston?
Yeah, Southie.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Oh, the South,
So-
right, okay.
Southie. So, you know, but it's actually a lot nice. They've regentrified.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of places in Boston where when I was younger you wouldn't step foot in that are really the coolest places to be.
Oh, fun.
So it's kind of like what they've done with Atlanta. They have
Right.
those cool areas.
Oh, yeah, it's grown
So-
strong, yeah. Mhm.
So anyway, I wanted to talk because I was reading your blog.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was very interesting, and I read about, I read the first one, and, you know, a lot of the things that you were saying, of course, resonated with me on my, you know, my journey.
Right.
And I'd like to talk a little bit about, you know, my book is called The Only Way Is Up, and I actually have a copy for you for
Oh,
today.
thank you.
And I think that you get to a place
Right.
and how do you get from rock bottom to rock star? And when I say rock star, not for everybody else, but rock star inside.
Right.
I know how I've gotten there because
Yeah.
I'm a rock star. I'm
Obviously.
saying
You
I
wouldn't
am.
be here if you weren't. so-
Right, I am a
yeah,
rock star, and
yeah.
you know, but it took me a long time to say that. You know, it's taken me a long time to get to that place. So what advice do you have? What do you think? What do you think the journey is, or what could people do?
Well, my book, Shelf Life of a Trophy Wife, is my journey through all of my marriages. I'm on my 4th marriage.
Congratulations.
Happy. Thank you.
Nice.
We need an applause. We need an applause, guy.
That's right. Lucky charm, number 4. Anyway, and I'm married to a chef.
Yeah.
Nice.
Famous
I
Atlanta
know.
chef,
I
Tom
know.
Catherall. Yes.
Right.
So
I know, huh?
so I'm felt well fed now.
That's
So,
perfect.
Yeah.
So does he cook at home?
No.
Yeah. See, you don't want to do it.
He cooks at the restaurant at Taco Cowboy, and then he cooks when we go to the beach.
Right.
That's
Oh.
where he cooks.
Oh, 'cause he
that's
loves-
his
that's
kitchen.
like he's
Nice.
chilling.
That's his
Nice.
his yeah.
That's his chill, like you.
What's your favorite beach? Where do you guys go?
Seaside.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah,
Yes,
nice.
beautiful place. All right.
We got married down there.
Ah, fun.
Nice. I love it.
It's been a year. Oh,
Nice.
is it?
Yeah,
right.
Seaside? Yeah. 38. 38
I
to
know,
go.
kidding, right?
Yeah. So, but anyway, you just, I guess I've picked myself off and reinvented myself each time. I'm a Southern girl, Southern Baptist. Was baptized at the First Baptist Church of Jonesboro, which is
Right.
as Baptist
As
as you can
gets.
get. That was the Church of Truett Cathy. And then, so I was ingrained in me that, you, as a Southern woman, you got married. Well, the key to a long marriage, right? You just don't get divorced. So
There you go. Well, his wife is the best.
Oh, okay.
I love her.
Well,
and I think you're a good husband.
and I'm a good wife. I just haven't found the right person until now. So
Right.
now it all makes sense.
Well, we're going to talk about that in the dating. I
dating.
want to talk about that in dating because I think all of us here are second lifers, and even though Rusty is on his first marriage, he was a little bit older.
Last.
Right, that's true. But he got married a little older, and I think that
Makes a difference.
It's a wisdom.
Yes.
So, but as far as emotionally, because I read in your book on your blog about how you came home that one night
Right.
and you were sitting in the garage.
I think you reach a point when you give all you can give, and it doesn't make a difference anymore. And even though it's a moment of letting go, when it's not your time, it's not your time. And so you have a second chance, and you wake up and you think, okay, where do I go from here? And my book basically is about letting go, and then getting a second chance.
Right.
And learning to listen to the things around you, because the universe is very powerful.
Right.
And if you learn to listen, then it tells you a lot. You just have to open your ears and your eyes. And, I lost my sister to suicide.
I'm sorry.
And that was probably one of the most devastating, defining moments of our life as a family. Because I'm the middle of 3 girls, and Jennifer was the oldest, 18 months older. She was bipolar, which we did not know. We just
Right.
said, oh, that's just Jennifer.
Mm-hmm.
But she had a mental illness that we tried to mask because you really didn't talk about things.
Right.
And so our whole life was my younger sister said, our whole life was spent trying to save Jennifer. Now what do we do? Because we couldn't save her.
Loss of purpose.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, I've started over several times in my life.
Right.
And in different ways. And the book basically is a triumph. And it has a second chance message, second,
Right.
third, fourth chance
Right.
message for everyone. So, yeah.
But did you get help? With a therapist?
Yes,
Did you- did you-
after I had to get help with a therapist because I came to an end where I couldn't help myself.
Right.
And just to, when I first went, she wanted to talk about. She said, I said, I'm here for this part of the iceberg, and she wanted to dive deep
Right.
below the surface.
Right.
And I wasn't ready to go there, but eventually, in my book, I do. So my book is
Right.
really kind of an unveiling of my journey.
Cathartic.
Yes.
For you.
Very much so.
And I would imagine for other people that will read it.
Yes.
Um,
And I haven't really, well, I guess cat's out of the bag now. I haven't really publicized it yet because I'm still in the works
Negotiations.
and negotiations, right, for the book. And
Wait,
but
so I don't walk out here with my autographed copy?
no,
Is
you
that-
don't. You don't.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
I'll give you one of mine.
And
I
I'll
got like
sign.
3 on my shelf.
I'll sign hers.
That's
Is
fair enough.
that good? But I did start with the blog, and it's a very painful to put your whole life out there, and as you know.
Right.
But I got a lot of wonderful reactions from friends and strangers who reached out to me saying thank you because, you know, these things aren't talked about. My journey from being, you know, molested as a child to, you know, being molested as an adult to horrible marriages.
I was over here the whole time.
Yeah.
I want to be clear.
You were on the farm.
Right, exactly.
You were on the
Yeah.
farm, Rusty.
No kidding.
So anyway, but it's funny too because
Right.
I, you know, I have such a fabulous base of family.
Right.
My parents have been married 62 years, and they're the most wonderful Christian. They gave me my backbone and my character and my strength. And I think of all the people that didn't have, you know, that to fall back on, that I think that's why I was able to pick up and write my book and tell my story.
You know, I think that's very important because I think the family is so, and you have a great family too, Rusty. I mean, it's amazing. He's got a lovely, lovely family. No matter what crazy was going on in my family, my sister and I knew we were loved.
Right.
I mean,
exactly.
It was crazy.
Exactly.
It was cray-cray. You know, it was crazy. And I had my own crazy with my own life and dealing with, you know, having to have surgeries for the hand and the Poland syndrome and all that stuff and dealing with kids and being mean. I always had the home life and my family being, you know, and the funnest part of my family was we ate. You know, we just, you know, we
Well,
did
you're
everything. It didn't
Italian.
matter what was going on. Well, that
That's
contributed
what
to my
you do.
weight issue, you know,
Well,
my food problem. Well,
Yeah, right.
through the
right.
years.
Okay.
And so, you know, but we always had that. We had that. Whatever was going on, we sat down at the table.
Right.
Weddings, wakes, funerals.
Family
We
time.
had that. I had my cousins and all that. And even now, you know, I still have a great support system here in Atlanta and in Boston. So that is like
Right.
amazing. But you have to feel that love.
Right.
You have, and that's one of the things that I talk about in my workshops is, you know, you need to surround yourself. You know, and once you start to change your thinking, you'll either walk away from negative people or they'll walk away from you.
Right.
And
right.
you'll start to attract, and you will, you know, be attracted to positivity.
Right.
And because you can't deal, like I can't deal with it. Like I just go, okay, no, I'm not doing that. No, that's not going to work for me. I love that. You know, like on the Brady Bunch, something suddenly came up.
I have absolutely learned that lesson.
Yeah.
I mean, it hadn't been that long ago, but I'm like, I do not have enough time in my life for drama. Scissors, please. And
Right.
you know, yeah. So why waste your time with this? Some of it's worth it, I'm sure. You know, if you're invested or whatever. But nah.
Well, my thing is, and you know, and you've probably seen it all over social media, is if you're not feeling groovy every day, then call me. You know, because I can help you.
You can talk through it.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. I'm like, you know, you got to be feeling, you got to be tiptoeing through the tulips
Mm-hmm.
every day, and you can.
Do you think it's harder today with all the online presence and
Yes.
and the bullying
Yes.
and
Yes, and everything. Yes.
so do you think it would be different for you today having to go through what you went through?
I'm going to say no,
Okay.
and I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
I think kids were okay. There is bullying going on online. I'm not saying that it's not.
Right.
But I have kids who are, you know, 26 to 13. I have 4 boys, and maybe I see kids being more tolerant of each other, like they don't call you fatso anymore,
Right.
or they don't call you Four Eyes, or you know, people. If
Right.
you had glasses, they called you Four Eyes.
Yeah.
I mean, that was ridiculous, you know. And now it's cool to wear glasses. Or I think kids are more accepting. You know, I know that
Because they're more exposed to
they're more exposed. I mean,
To the
I
world.
think, you know, and I'm going to say this, and maybe I'm taking a risk here, but back in the day, if somebody was, you know, homosexual, they would get terrorized. Now
Right.
it's, you know, it's like, okay, whatever, who cares, you know? And so I think, there's much more acceptance of extremes. That doesn't mean that people aren't mean, and I think that comes from an internal place. And kids who are doing things like that, their parents are a problem.
Right.
Because my kids, son, one of my sons, when he was pledging, or he was already a Kappa Sig at Alabama, there was a boy that was pledging the following year who had something wrong with his hand, and they didn't want to let him in. And my son stood up for him.
Nice.
Okay, so that's what we have to do. That's what we teach our kids. We teach our kids to love themselves first, and then they can love others. That's where it's at.
Right.
So that's where it comes from. It's really an internal love. You change the way you're thinking about yourself, and then things start to fall into place.
Well, I think it all goes back to just be kind. It's so simple. It is the
One would
simplest
imagine.
thing.
And, and I disagreed a minute ago because I guess I don't have enough more life experiences, people a lot older than I do, but I have never witnessed or experienced the amount of division that it seems like we've got going on right now. Politics, religion, all those kind of things, and to me, and you talk about social media, and I'm a monster fan of social media. I think it's the way it's opened up the world, like you said, exposed things to all kinds of different cultures and helped that. We're certainly getting out more, branching out more, traveling more, that sort of thing, and getting exposed to different ideas, different people, different ways of life, and that kind of thing. And it is tremendously helpful. On the other hand, 20 years ago, if something happened, you had to wait for the morning newspaper to hit your driveway, or the 11 o'clock news, and then you saw what was going on. You got it in your head. You got to sleep on it. You got to form, work out your opinions, and then you talked about it on the around the water cooler the next day. Now we watch news as it's happening.
Right. Have it in
real time.
Yeah, and we are. I think it is, and it's our own fault, obviously, but we are now so ingrained to having that knee-jerk reaction to whatever's going on. And my opinion is going to be right, and yours, by definition, is wrong. So and then
I agree with that.
And so I think we've lost, for as much as we've gained high school friends and talking to your grandma and wherever, social media, all the wonderful gains that we've got from it. We've also lost a lot of our character because we no longer have that need, that desire to sit back, take a breath, let me figure this out in my head, form an opinion, and then talk about it constructively. Now it's, I'm right and you are always wrong.
Well, and a lot of that comes from not having, and I talk about this, I'll talk about this, a million times over. It's not having the interpersonal relationships. They're not, because of your texting instead of talking, instead of having face-to-face conversations. My son is on the game, right, the Xbox with this is his way of playing, right? So he's playing with his friends right here with the headphones on, and he's got that going on, and it's fun for him because he's having fun, right? But for us, we went outside to play.
Sure did.
So we learned in nonverbal communication, which is extremely important.
Body language.
Body language, nonverbal,
and nature is healing. We just I did a series of enlightenment lunches, and our last one, I do it with Laura Turner Seidel and Stephanie Blank, and we just had one at the botanical garden.
Oh, no.
And it was called Go Outside and Play.
Right.
And it was about the environmental health and how healthy it is for kids to go outside, and they need it. And now they're inside playing games.
That's right.
They've lost a certain element that we grew up with, which you did go out and you did convene with nature, and it's healing. And they're angry, and they don't know why. And they're angry because they don't have
no outlet.
Exactly.
I got a friend of mine, I guess you call it a social experiment with this kid. He's got 2 teenage boys now. And for, I guess, the majority of their lives, they were never allowed anything electronic Monday through Friday, or like till 4:30 on Friday, whatever the cutoff was, And they had limited time, limited exposure. When one of his sons was 9 years old, for Christmas, all right, 9-year-old Christmas, 2000, whatever year it was, a few years back ago, asked for a new pair of shoes from Santa Claus. what 9-year-old child in today's world asked for a new pair of shoes because they just weren't exposed to all this crap? Did you?
Yeah,
That's all right, Beth.
Well, no, I know. Well, you know what?
I always
I'm
wear
wearing
Yeah,
I
well,
love
because I've read that.
Yeah.
I read that Manolo Blahnik
I'm
stuff.
a big shoe girl.
I know, she's
I
just
wore
a
Barbie
Like
shoes.
they're,
when I was-
you know, they're
That's
they don't have
hilarious.
Why was
exactly
that
rock
one?
on. Well, that's awesome. That's different. But they weren't asking for the Barbies and the Malibu and
Right,
the cars and all that jazz.
Oh, I love that.
You know, yeah, but you know they're outside. They're straight
My
out of
Barbie drove an
school.
encyclopedia. We didn't have the Barbie car then.
Heavy. Oh God,
She just sat on top of the encyclopedia and I drove her around.
terrible
That's
childhood
hilarious.
you must have had.
No,
I did the first
Horrible.
Barbie car. Had I
Okay,
known.
all right then. I guess we're okay then.
There you go. Oh
But
my
yeah, but
God.
they're right. These kids instead of being
right.
sitting sucked into the
new
headphones and
Xbox
all
and
that,
the new-
got all that exactly all the jazz. And, they're outside playing. They're all star in sports and they're out there and they're doing things socially active. Yeah, they play the occasional video game. Oh, is that a subtle hint?
Rocky.
I love it. I love it. Well, I think, but and it goes across the board for all of us. We need to start getting back. I think it's sort of getting back to basics.
Right.
Just getting, understanding our true purpose, aligning with our purpose, and being connected to ourselves and our, inner being, and knowing how amazing we all are. And I think, our age group is, I think I say we're the most messed up because we had, our parents had one foot in the 50s, one foot in the 60s. And we had, and some of them stayed in marriages they shouldn't have. Some of them left marriages and were ostracized. We're like the last age group that even considered staying home with our kids. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
I stayed home with my kids for 20 years.
Yeah, I did too.
And so, but
And then when I had to get back in the workplace, I was.
like, what do you do?
Oh, yeah.
I was,
Oh, yeah.
I'm with you. I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
I was like, what do I do? I have like I have a degree in
Yeah.
management communication. What do I do? And so
Ask Google now.
That's
I
right.
know.
Yeah.
I'll ask
absolutely.
Siri. What am I
Nice.
supposed to be doing? Alexa, what should what
What's
kind of
my
a job?
career path?
Don't quit. Alexa goes, don't quit your day job.
Ah!
Exactly.
I want to sing karaoke. So crazy. All right, so we're gonna pause for a station ID right now. How's that? Is that? there
I
you
guess
go.
that's a yes.
All right.
What do you got
All
coming
right.
up?
Are we back? What?
What do you got? Excuse me, what do you got coming up?
Dating advice.
Oh boy.
All right, we're back, and we're going to talk about finding love the second, third, fourth time around, and this is dating advice for second lifers, and it's the Just Steph rules of dating.
Oh, wow.
She loves this. Loves this.
All right, you can just listen to the song. That's so fun. That song's perfect. Anyway, okay, so you were saying you're on husband number 4.
Right.
My
Parents are very proud. No, they're
Well, it's really hard. Like, I know that for you, it sounds like it's sort of the same. I mean, I'm Sicilian. We come from, I'm Catholic. You don't get divorced.
right.
You just don't do that. And you're like, I had friends after I was divorced saying, oh, well, maybe it'll work out. I'm like, what part of
No.
all this stuff do you don't
Right.
understand? Not being treated nicely, whatever.
Right.
And so I think it's nobody wants to get divorced. I mean, nobody
No, you
wants
don't go into marriage to get a divorce.
No, you
Unless
don't.
you're Kardashian.
Unless you're.
There you
that's
go.
true.
But it was like, even to this day, I'm divorced 3.5 years. It turns my stomach to think that my kids are have a divorce, are in a divorce situation. Like, it really makes me sick. Like, I feel bad for them. I do. However, I feel better for them in the same sense that their mom stood up for herself.
Right.
And I'm actually going from, being an at-home mom to doing what I'm doing.
Right.
So, I feel really good. And there was growing pains there with my kids. They didn't want me to work. They didn't want me to do this. I'm supposed to be making the sandwiches. It's tough. But, and I've been on, I've had several boyfriends. Rusty knows them all. I know. It was a circus. But, I mean, so you just... It's raining, baby. That's right. Wear your weather, girl.
Flawless.
So, yeah, I had my share of boyfriends, but you kind of, it was like weird for me because I got married when I was, I had just my husband since I was 19 years old.
Right.
I started dating him when I was 19, and then I was like, oh my gosh, there was a whole candy store out there.
Just waiting for Steph.
I was like, whoa. But you know what? I didn't know that some of the candy was hot. Like I got burnt.
Yeah, you got
I was like, wow, this looks like fun. So, yeah, it's kind of weird, so with that whole, finding love again and all that. And I think it's just, I don't know. What do you think?
I know. I never, I would get divorced and married in the same year, so I was not a good candidate for, I never, except for this last time I was divorced 4 years? 4 years.
So did you date in between?
No, wait, 6 years, yes.
So you dated?
Not at first.
Right.
It was a tough breakup.
Right.
And I didn't, it was a sad end to a marriage.
Right.
And so I wasn't interested and I wasn't ready.
Right.
And things had changed so much.
Well, people go out and date, they start trying to get boyfriends when they're not ready, or girlfriends when they're not ready.
I didn't do that. I took time and started working. And the good news was it was the first time I didn't have young children at home. They were in college, that I could throw myself into my career for the first time. Right. And that's what I did. And so it was a epiphany for me, like, wow, this is what someone who doesn't, because motherhood is one guilt trip if you're a working mother. It really is,
right. Because
you never feel like you're giving 100% to anything,
right.
And including yourself. And so, and I love that the workforce now, the workplace is more kind to mothers.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
With daycare and there, I just had to leave work and go home if my child was sick at school, and But I never did the dating sites. Those scared me.
Yeah, you didn't ever do that.
No.
I was never a fan. I know you were, and it worked for you.
A girlfriend of mine signed me up, and I didn't know the password. I didn't know how to get out of it, and I took it to her. I said, "You've got to stop this. I'm getting these strange people emailing me, and I don't like this, and I don't want this." And she said, "Oh, it's fun." I'm like, "No, it's not. It's not."
Well, it has to be for you.
It's crazy.
I did the dating sites because I just wanted to meet new people. I mean, I thought that, I actually met
outside of the circle
of like 200 people that are in our circle, and and it's the funny thing is it gives you a chance to sort of meet new people, and I've met I went out on dates with really nice men that weren't for me.
Right.
They were very nice, and I would never have met them otherwise. Mm-hmm. And that was nice for me. I liked that. I enjoyed it. They just weren't for me. But then it gets a little like, all right. It was like Groundhog Day every day. See you later, I'll text you.
Well,
bye. Thanks for dinner.
We have Taco Cowboy in Virginia Highland, which is we've noticed a lot of, you can tell when it's a Match.com date. You can, because usually one will come in the front door, and then we have a back door with valet, and one will come in the back door, and then they'll sit at the bar, and you can just kind of tell by body language if it works immediately or if it doesn't. And if it doesn't work, they have one margarita and they're out of there, and they go out the front door and the back door. And
That's hilarious.
Never, the two shall meet again. But you can tell when it really works too. So.
Well, you know what? I was meeting a date once at Hal's.
Oh, really? Shocker.
That's really,
that's a
it's like taking ice to Alaska.
I know, but I was actually going somewhere else afterwards, and I thought, let me meet this guy. He walked in, I go, oh God.
Or sand to the beach.
Well, no, he said to me, so he was married a couple times. He goes, this is my way out. This is the way you get out of a date. He said, oh yeah, I'm never getting married again. I go, oh, I want to get married. I want to be married.
Oh, that is the way.
Check, please.
I'm looking for a husband.
Boy, look at the
I said,
time.
yeah.
Oh, God.
I said, I'm looking for a husband, and he goes, you're kidding, right? I go, oh no, I want a husband right now. And he goes, I got you Coke. Whatever you got. I got this. Go ahead, see you later. And then I went to like John, and then the guy next to me bought me dinner. And I went to John Seifert's party over at Whiskey Mistress with the guy.
What's a guy?
With the guy that bought you dinner?
Yeah. Oh, she's notorious.
See, I think that's why I don't like the dating sites, because so many of my friends who were on them, they were like, and when I would witness this at Taco Cowboy, where these people come in, you look good on paper or online,
Oh, yeah.
but you don't have any chemistry, and you don't know that until you meet them. And
That's
you
why I
can't-
could never get into
That's
it.
why I just don't believe in it, because I think immediately you have chemistry with somebody, and you
Right.
can't do
Yeah, but
that.
sometimes there's
Behind
chemistry and then there's no depth either.
Well, this is true.
Well, it takes a minute to figure out the depth situation, but the chemistry, the lightning bolt can strike.
You need
You
the,
know,
You know it can.
I knew
I know.
the
I know
minute
it can.
with Tom, I knew. It was like we had this incredible
Uh-huh.
chemistry,
Yep.
and you can't manufacture that. You can't swipe left or right or whatever
Right.
you do.
well, I know, it's all crazy, but I think, I think being older and wiser,
Right.
and I think being set in our ways is pros and cons, because I think sometimes we're not willing to be flexible, but I think it's also where we say, okay, I'm not changing that.
Yeah, you don't
You don't have to change
Right,
for anybody
right.
else. And I say, don't change you.
Right.
If you're gonna change you, I'm gonna go. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, now I know why he's here.
I love him. I love him. He's the best. Yeah. So, I think that you can say, okay, this isn't changing. This is me. Accept
Right.
me as I am.
Yeah.
And for me, I had to accept me.
Right.
I had to accept myself first.
I think that's the first thing, is that you.
Yeah, so it gets, but I think it's great because, my whole thing is I'm not going to couples therapy with anybody, like at this point. Well, I was married for 24
I
years.
get it.
I'm done.
Right, right,
If
right.
we have to go, you go to your
Well, if you
therapist, I'll
have
go
to
to
go to
mine.
couples therapy when you're dating, that's not a good
Oh,
sign.
no,
That's
that's
stupid.
a ball
That's,
game.
Everyone's
Whole
stupid.
different ball game.
No, I'm like, forget it. Well, I'm at the point, like, okay, you go to your therapist, I'll go to mine, and let's see if it works. I'm
Right.
not going to I'm not doing that. I worked too hard, like begging, kicking and screaming for 24 years. Can we go to therapy? Can we do that? I'm not
Yeah.
doing it. I'm just, it's too much work.
Right.
It's supposed to be fun. We're tiptoeing through the
It
tulips.
shouldn't be work. A
It's
relationship
fun.
should be fun and
Fun, 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 till
Right.
Daddy takes the T-bird away.
exactly.
That's it. It's
Yeah.
fun. I agree.
Rusty, what do you think?
I'm out of the,
Wait, how long have you been
I'm
married?
out number here, not long, 3 years,
Oh.
going on 3 years, yeah.
She's
And
amazing.
she is amazing.
I love her.
And definitely the one I waited on. And we met at, we.
Was it Cafe Intermezzo?
Oh, it most
You
definitely
met at
was.
Hal's?
Yeah, right. Not so much.
Hal's been very, very good to me.
Yes,
Just
it
saying.
has.
I love Hal.
Oh,
He's so
I love
great.
him. He's
And
been on my
Claudia,
show.
too.
I
Yeah.
love them. So yeah, they're fun.
But
Yeah.
I was raised in, I was raised in a Southern Episcopal household. My parents, we just celebrated my parents' 50th anniversary. Was it
I
last
saw
year?
that.
Yeah, and and they had problems and they had their
Right.
stuff going on, but they worked it out. Again, nothing, but I was always raised. You don't get divorced, and so maybe that's why I waited as long as I did.
Yeah, I was raised that way too.
Well, yeah.
That
We have two
Glad it
didn't
took,
really
right?
work out for me.
We have the South and North Pole here.
So yeah, I waited and found the I came close to the altar a couple times, and I'm certainly glad I didn't. But
So you avoided
I
it,
dodged
you
the
got-
bullet,
yeah.
right, and waited for the one that I knew was. I just
love
knew
her.
it. She's great. And,
How did you meet her?
she made the sad mistake of walking into Cafe Intermezzo when I had 2 hours to kill one afternoon, and I'm telling you, this whole fate situation.
It's all- I believe in fate.
Listen,
I
I'm a
believe-
staunch
Kismet.
believer. She walked in that front door, my jaw hit the ground, and
she's beautiful.
invited her to sit down, and she hadn't left my side since. So,
Oh.
Yeah, she's adorable. I love her. She's really, and you know what? Very great. She's got a good character. She's a lot of integrity.
Right.
She really is a great girl. I
Right.
love her. she's awesome, and I think you're a great husband. Yeah, I think you take good care of her.
That's entirely
So,
true.
yes,
Yeah.
that's entirely
Yeah.
true. That's what I said. Okay.
Yeah, it has to go both ways. You have to-
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. So she's great. She's beautiful. So hopefully I'll get to see you guys sometime soon.
That'll work. So,
We'll see.
so yeah, I mean, it works out sometimes. I mean, we get it, you know. But it's again, I'm trying to throw the monkey wrench in here, but you know, we were always taught, you know, fix the problem, you know. And I know that sometimes it's unfixable, and I get it. And like I said, nobody goes into a marriage expecting a divorce, but it's such a foreign concept to me, just alien in my whole genetic upbringing.
Well,
I
I
guess.
wanted to back out of my first marriage. It was my college sweetheart. We had a long distance relationship, and
And that was before texting.
the invitations had already gone out. And my mother said, the invitations have gone out.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I actually have been to a wedding where they called it off and we showed up.
What?
But they just had the party.
yeah.
Well, yeah.
They called it off that morning. They didn't go to the church.
Yeah.
Holy
Well, when
yeah.
you cry before you walk down the aisle, that's really not, and they're
Yeah,
not
that's not how you
tears
wanna
of
kick
joy,
things
that's
off.
not a way. But, you know, it was,
It's what you do.
right, it's what you did.
Jeepers. Yeah, that's kind of tough.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think that when you get married so young, at least from our age group, I think the millennials are a little different. They're a little bit more. They
Well, they don't get married now. They get married when they're
a little bit
in
older,
their
but
30s.
I think they're
Yeah.
self-sustaining. They
Right.
actually, you know, the girls are not. They have their own stuff going on,
Right.
and so when they come together, they're partners. They're not dependent or codependent.
right.
So they come together and they, you know, they each have their own stuff. They retain their individuality.
Mhm.
There's a lot to be said about millennials in that way. I mean, I know everyone says, "Oh, millennials, this, that, and the other thing." I think they're, with the girls that I've met through my son's dating, or you know, and they're lovely and beautiful and smart and well spoken and stand on their own.
Nice.
And so I applaud them for that. I do. I think for us, at least in my age group, you know, we got married for whatever reason, to get out of the house or to do whatever. And
That's
then
just the next step.
it's just the next
Right.
step. And so, and you stay because you're afraid to go. You know, and so I think, or you're afraid to be alone. Or in my case, my self-esteem was never really anywhere until probably a couple of years ago, and even better now. But
That's when you met me.
absolutely,
I know.
red dress,
yeah.
baby. Yeah, I wore my red dress. I rocked it.
Yes, you did.
I did.
Obviously.
Yeah.
That's when we let you show up. Yeah, that's good.
So yeah, I mean, you know, I think.
Speaking of, Miss Thing just said hello. From
I
Kansas
love
City,
her.
man.
We're gonna go say hi to everybody
Nice.
right now. You know what? We're gonna listen. Take a risk, be vulnerable, share your heart and love always. We're gonna take a break, and this one, and when we come back, more Lisa and Rusty, and this one is for the birthday peeps. Reno Odish, happy birthday.
Reno, Big Papa.
Happy
Mary
birthday.
Temple, Robin Maynard, and Dee Flores.
Yeah.
Happy
Is it
birthday!
Dee's birthday?
Yes,
Nice.
it
Happy
is.
birthday,
Make me
Dee.
feel, baby. Yeah. All right, so let's
Mm.
let me see. Let's say hi to everybody. Okay. Hi, Louis. Hi, Faye. Pretty girl. I love you.
Were your ears burning, baby?
Hi, Tia. If you got to go to couples therapy while you're dating, doomed from the get-go.
There
Thank
you
you,
go.
Tia. Hi, Michelle.
Oh, Paul.
Okay. Hey, Bennett.
Nice.
Hi, Darlene. Hi, Paul Leva. How are you?
Is that Paulie?
Yes. Hi, Patricia. Hi, Rosie. Hi, Philip. Hi, Sharon. This is your girl,
My girl?
Sigler. Thanks. She said, oh, maybe, I don't know. Well, she's happy. She said, thanks for sharing your courageous story, Lisa.
Aw.
AOT. I don't know.
Oh, yes.
Okay, Scott.
That's my Kappa Delta.
There you go. Hi, Lee. She said, love Lisa. Lee Gidley.
Yeah, Lee. Hey, Lee. Yeah.
And Bill's back there. Gary. Rusty's watching. Hi, Brad. Brad Hudson said, who's Rusty Newport? Hi, Sandra. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Linda. Michael, you're watching from, he's watching from Japan.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
What time is it?
Franco's watching. Franco, ciao. Come sta? How's Tuscany? Hi, Kristen. Hi, Elaine.
Yeah.
Hi, Johnny. Hi, Ann. I think that's it. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's it.
Shirley.
Okay. Hi. Sammy from Hal's. We were just talking about Hal's. We love Hal's. Hal's been very good to me. Hi, Kate. Let me see.
I love that she
Oh,
said she wanted to get married.
Yeah.
It was just,
Hi, Douglas. When are you gonna be on, baby? That's Douglas Cameron. I went to see him a couple weeks ago with, I was there, I showed up and Jerry Farber was there.
I love
But he
Jerry.
was on my show that day, I didn't know he was going. I walked in, I go, Jerry Farber, are you lost? Oh my gosh, it was so funny. And then Jerry spilled a whole glass of red wine on me.
Of course he did.
of course he did.
But it was hilarious. Oh, yeah, guys, how long we got? We're good. 1 minute. Okay. All
1
right.
minute?
1 minute.
1 minute?
Okay.
Can't share.
You're doing good. Lots of people today. Yay! I love it. Oh, I thought the music stopped. I thought we were on. I'm like, oh. This is a good song.
I gotta see what's the come out this weekend.
All right, we are back. Yay! What a fun day. Thank you. Thank you for being here, Lisa and
Oh,
Rusty.
thank you
Oh.
Oh my
for the
gosh, it's
invitation.
awesome. Look at my UGA peeps in the house. Yay.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. So let's talk a little bit about your journey as far as wanting to write the book. Like how did this all come about? When did you decide on writing the book? How long did it take you? Let's hear all about it.
The turning point for me to write the book was after Bill Cosby's, the accusations against Bill Cosby, and no one were believing these women that were coming forward because it was Bill Cosby.
Right.
And they didn't believe these women, and that had happened to me. I'd been drugged and raped, and the reason that they waited so long is because when that happens, you have no memory, you have nothing. There's nothing there in your mind, and so I think you can go on and pretend it didn't happen, and that's what people did, and that's what
Right.
these women did. And then it's just like with the Weinstein, when it just starts snowballing.
Right.
Because then when one person breaks their silence, then it gives you permission to come out and say, me too.
Right.
And so when that happened, and I went, the reason nobody believes these women is because we don't stand up and say, that happened to me. And that was the catalyst for me to sit and write this book. And I started actually 3 years ago in March,
Right.
and I sat down and it just
Love.
flowed. And then I have a very dear friend of mine who helped me edit it. And she would send back my edits to me, and she would laugh at certain,
Right.
because I do have my little sense of humor thrown in there. I always mention my fashion when I'm at the doctor, because it takes place in a psychiatrist's office.
Right.
And each chapter is a session
Oh.
where I reveal something, and it's
Right.
random, and it's not, in any certain order. It just, because I was told when my sister committed suicide and I went to see this person, she said, I want you to come back and write a letter to someone, and then we'll talk about it. And that's how it started, with a letter to my 4-year-old self,
No.
Right.
telling me what to expect
Right.
when I grew up
Hmm.
and what to be aware of. And then it just all came out after that session. And so that's how my book is set up. And each, chapter deals with certain incidents. And she would also say, she said, I know people where one of these things have happened and they're drugged up in
Right.
bed. How do you get up and go? And I went, the only thing I can say is it goes back to having that great faith that my parents instilled in me,
Right.
and the love that I knew I was loved, and I knew I was important because they told me every day I was. And I think that is the only difference. I don't know, because then my older sister had some other issues, the same as me, molested and by the same people. And she ended up taking her life at 45. So You know, I always thought she was the fun, she was, you know, manic, and she was the athlete, and she was invincible, I thought. And I always thought she was the strong one. I was the little girly girl who played Barbies and dressed up. And then I've come through this book. My journey is maybe I'm the strong one.
Right.
Nice.
You know?
Nice.
So it's been really good for me. And I have a book advisor, and we've got it out there, and I'm optimistic that my story will be not just something I've kept to myself all this time, to give me courage to actually publish it and get it out there.
Do you, and this is so not my realm, that's why I'm asking, do you both think that over the past few years, with everything we've seen, again with the addition of social media, where where it gets out there and that kind of thing, of course the women who wait 10, 20 years, whatever it is, wait the Kevin Spacey's whole deal from 100 years ago, whatever it was. What is, I know I've seen a lot of the studies and I've read them, about, why they wait. And there's a multitude of reasons, and just like some of them you touched on, that sort of thing. But do you think now with all this stuff that we've seen and we're continuing to see in the lawsuits and this and the porn stars and all this crap going on, do you think it's been a catalyst in the Me Too movement that is now, girls, ladies are educated enough to say, this is inappropriate, I'm going to do something about it right now instead of waiting 15 years?
I think that the workplace has opened up to, they didn't realize, and I think men who, compliment you on your dress, that's not sexual harassment.
Oh,
but,
yeah,
so there's that, it's gotten, and I hate to say it, it's gotten away from the message and the movement to this ridiculous, to where now, I'm afraid I don't want the pendulum to sway to where they're not going to believe anybody anymore.
Right.
But, I don't know. I don't know if people will come forward, because I have started briefly and then I pulled back.
Right.
Because it's hard to
Well-
have the criticism. Look at Rose McGowan, who came out against Harvey Weinstein. She's been ridiculed, and they're saying she's crazy. Well, you know what? She's had a lot to deal with.
Right.
And, so I think that, there's a stigma to it. I think
Well-
there's a stigma to it.
My boyfriend has 2 daughters. I have 4 boys.
Oh.
And so he asked me, he said to me, why do you think they wait? And I said, this is what I thought. This is what I said to him. I go, we're talking about these women wanted so badly, they want to be in show business or whatever, in a place where it's like, how are we going to get into the NFL? Or how it's like that one, like 0.001% that make it as a star. So how are you going to make it, like, into the MLB? Are you going to make it, so it's that. I said, but what you need to do, and I said this to him, I go, you need to instill in your daughters that there's nothing more important than their integrity and their
Words
character.
out of my mouth.
Right.
Words
So
right out of
you,
my mouth.
I said, the job. Being homeless is better than risking your integrity and your character.
And it was such an accepted practice.
Oh yeah, forever.
Forever.
Uh-huh.
The casting couch was the big
Right.
joke.
Sure.
But it's true.
Well, look at
But-
Matt Lauer. I mean, he locked the door with the button. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
What is, jeez. Crazy.
But how long did he have that button? 10 years on his desk?
Well,
Who
what's
didn't
so
know
funny?
about it?
I actually met him out in Deer Valley. But
Did he have Tic Tacs in the spot?
no, well, he was his wife, who was a stick, like this, like when I tell you this big, right?
Okay, got it.
She was, and she had just had a baby, and they had 2 nannies, one holding the baby and one with the other kids. And I'm going, and she was miserable. And I'm going, something wrong with this picture,
Apparently.
you know. So there's something wrong, and he wasn't so nice. But and my whole family, like my mom talked to him and stuff like that. But he had a little arrogance about him. But the thing is, so that wasn't so surprising to me to hear that, but I think that women or anybody that gets mistreated in any way needs to understand their amazingness and know that this is...
It's not acceptable.
It's not acceptable.
Right.
It's very difficult when it's a child-adult thing, because children are trapped.
Right. Right.
That's very different. But as an adult, you know, you have to start when your kids start, you know, when they start as young preteens and teenagers, saying that your integrity and your character is not worth
Right.
whatever.
Right.
A
Right.
job,
Right.
money, fame, whatever. None of it.
Right.
I hope so.
I had to, you know, I left a marriage where I could probably have, right now, I could probably have a, you know, a personal shopper at Saks and traveling first class all around the world and all that stuff. And I had to give up. You know, when I don't get invited to the fancy parties and
Yes, you do.
I do, but you know, I'm talking about, you know,
Right.
I know.
you know, the ones that were in our circle,
Right.
in our circle, and so it's just you have to say, you know what, this is not. I had to give, and I came from a place where my sister and I slept in the same bed because we didn't have money, so and now all of a sudden, you know, I have this life, and I go, okay, yeah, no, this isn't worth it.
Yeah.
This isn't worth. It's not worth it. I'll be all right.
Yeah.
I'll be all right.
Absolutely.
And so you have to know when it's time, when you say, okay, no, it's not worth my integrity, it's not worth my character, it's not worth my joy, my peace, my happiness. It's not worth it. So, and the only way to do that is to know your amazingness and know your gifts and know your true worth and be aligned to your purpose. So, there. There's my rant.
There you
I
go.
just ranted. There's my rant. I ranted.
Well done.
That's right. You just got the cliff notes of the
No,
Ruby
this is
Slipper workshop. So there it is.
I do
So-
love the ruby slippers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because you have the power all along, right?
Exactly.
So yeah, and you know I'm gonna do more of that. And I hosted one here in Atlanta and one in Boston. The one in Boston was really fun. I had a good crowd, and it was on the heels of a blizzard.
Nice.
So, and I was very happy with that.
Oh,
So
yeah.
yeah, it was great, and I'm getting some amazing feedback from that. So
We've been looking. We need to talk because there's a you know, my friend Eddie on Spring Hall.
Oh, yeah.
We're looking to put together the Feed the Soul whole line. We're doing. Listen, I think both you guys would be great. We're looking at doing just all kinds of classes about health, mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, you know, you name it.
I'm your girl.
But I know, putting it together one big weekend package kind of thing,
I
and
totally
yeah,
love it.
so
yeah, that's right. I love it.
I know. I think
I'm
we
in my
should.
zone when I'm up there speaking. Like I'm totally like there's not one edgy nerve about it.
Right.
Yeah, I could probably fall down and get up and laugh.
But you're so shy in person.
No.
Oh my gosh! You know what I have to say though? As much as I'm an extrovert, I have really learned to go inside, to go
Yes,
deep. I have a
yeah.
lot of quiet time.
Yeah.
I spend so like when I talk everybody's ear off, it's because I've been so.
And
quiet.
see, I'm not. I'm an extrovert, but I'm not to the extent. As a publicist, I'm so used to promoting other people
Right.
that it's hard for. I always kind of stand in the background.
Right.
My business partner with LRK Media is Vicki Locke,
Yes.
and she is
I saw that.
wonderful. And so she's more of our out front, you know, in your
Right.
face. She was on radio for years,
Right.
and she's
Right.
amazing.
She gave me
amazing.
Vicki Locke gave me tickets to my first date. Abby Hirsch, I know you remember it. Abby. It's at Camelot and the Fox Theater. Vicki, tell her I said thank you.
I will tell Vicki.
'Cause,
I'm sure she remembers that.
yeah.
That's hilarious. That's funny. But
Star
yeah,
94,
So
baby.
she's the extrovert. You know, I kind of stand
That's
in
funny.
the back and.
well, you
She's
know,
my client.
but you have to do what works for
right,
you.
right.
And now it's time. Maybe this is your place, and you do all that,
Right.
and then you know you still do the publicist stuff, and you know.
Right.
But I think it's easier if everybody stays in their lane. You know, when you're
Right,
working, you know,
exactly.
if you're working with somebody who wants to do what you're doing, then maybe you know exactly. You have to. Everybody has their
Has
role.
right.
So everybody has a role, and you have to kind of do what you do. And
What, Rusty? What's your role?
Oh, God.
He's just hot.
Yeah, that's it.
If we just look at him and say, "Oh,
MC,
say you're so
instigator.
Say you're so
yeah,
lucky.
Yes. She knows.
He's the husband par excellence." I can't help it.
Wow, apparently. Well, I mean, to speak the truth, it just comes right out. I get it, you know, I know. Come on.
He's Mr. Fun.
That's true.
That's right. We have a good time.
We do.
I can
It's
tell.
fun. Yeah,
This has been fun.
Oh, I'm glad. This is what it's supposed to be. This is we're
Thank
going
you.
through the tulips.
Thank you, Jerry Farber, for
Nice,
Jerry.
Jerry.
I love Jerry. I
Don't you
love Jerry.
He
Oh my
just turned
gosh.
80.
I know.
We did his birthday here. Yeah.
Yeah.
right,
Yeah, that's right.
That's
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. Jerry's awesome.
You know, he has a book too.
Mhm.
It's called Women, Power, and Money: How to Live Without Them,
That's
or
hilarious.
something not to that.
I love it. He goes, I had 3 wives, none of them mine.
Not bad.
These are the same jokes. I love it. He goes,
He and Seifert need to get together and form a little
oh
cadre.
gosh,
Yeah.
that's funny. But yeah, no, Jerry's awesome, and he's just, and he's a very good soul.
He
and
is.
He's a lot of fun. And
Yeah.
I love talking to him because I can talk deep. We talk deep.
Right.
I love it. Oh my
Right.
gosh. I got on the phone. Well, I can't text Jerry unless I'm ready to get a phone call.
Right,
Uh-huh.
because he doesn't text.
No, he
He
calls me back.
prefers to, he actually,
Right.
and as my husband says, you know, this is actually a phone.
Right.
He's,
Like what?
You know, he's,
What? You
that's what he
talking
said,
this
you
thing?
can actually call people
Right.
on this.
I know.
He prefers to be called. He doesn't like the texting.
Your husband.
My husband, yeah, Tom.
Yeah, I think it's, it's fine if you're saying meet me here,
Right,
meet me
right.
there. I'll say, okay, I'm
Or if
leaving
you
at
say, like I just had to say, I'm sorry, I'm on the radio, I can't take your call right now.
Right.
Just text them.
Right,
There you go.
that's it. I'm on air.
Nice.
I'm on air. So yeah, I mean, but when you're getting into emotional stuff, you really shouldn't be.
Right, it should
Texting.
be, right.
So I mean, I agree with that. All right, we're going to take another break, and this one, when we come back, Living Atlanta. And this one's for Cheryl Necom. These are for liking my Just Steph page. Hello, can I talk?
Hey, Linda.
Bruce Bociccio and Olivia DeLeve. Thanks for liking my Just Steph page. And this is Finesse by Bruno Mars.
Oh,
Cardi
my
B.
boy.
Love
Oh my
Bruno
gosh,
Mars.
nothing to being tongue tied. Okay. My
Is
goodness.
this new? I haven't heard this.
It's my pick.
This is Bruno? Bruno?
Yes.
Bruno Mars?
Okay, let's see. Anybody else here? Hi, Joe Elmore. Remember he was on the show with us? Me and
What?
you, Joe Elmore, the fighter.
Joel Moore, what's up?
Hey, Rick. Chris Rignetta. Hi, how's Boston, babe? You're looking good. Oh, Paula Leva says, watch out, Rusty has a button.
No, he knows all too well. And not to push it.
Hi, Patrix, how are you? Hey, Shirley.
That's funny.
Oh, Joe says, hey, Steph. How's it going, babe?
Which Rick? Not Bental.
Rick Bental?
Yeah? Is he on there?
Yes.
What? Is he get to work, you schmuck? What?
Oh my gosh, so funny.
Thanks, good.
When's Faye coming back? Why don't you guys come over Saturday? I'll cook.
She's not due back till Sunday.
Oh, where did she go?
Oh, Kansas City.
Oh, because,
Persian New Year.
oh,
Persian.
okay.
And we'll go celebrate with the family. We just got the news. I'm going to be an uncle again. And it's a boy this time. We're very excited. There he is. Yeah. Yeah.
So what are we doing?
Now it's doing.
We're listening to Bruno
I just
Mars.
noticed he's got thing 2 on.
Yes.
That's so funny. And the better his cat.
Can you stick around for some photos after?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, good.
Mm.
Oh, this is fun. I'm gonna go. I love this.
This has been fun.
You know what? When we come back, I'm going to ask you how people can find you. For
okay.
whatever
Yeah.
PR,
Yeah.
Publicist, or even on your blog.
Yeah, okay.
So I saw it. It's Shelf Life.
Of a trophy.
TrophyWife.com. Who else is there? Hi, Clay. I don't know how you can see this. Oh my goodness. Oh, we got 1 minute. So what are you doing this weekend since she's gone?
I have got watch one on.
He's being good.
And going on the, I gotta work at the children's home on Saturday.
Okay.
So,
Oh, I'm gonna ask you anyway.
that's totally
I
fine.
broke it.
That's all right.
Oh, that'll me.
I broke mine. Mine are broken. That's what I got from Pretty Woman.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Thank you.
Okay, we're back, and before we get into living in Atlanta, I wanted to ask you, Lisa,
Yes?
how can people find you?
You can go to my website, shelflifeofatrophywife.com, and send me an email. Reach out to me via Facebook.
Right, you're on
I'm
Facebook,
on Facebook, Lisa Rayner Catherall.
and you're
And
on
on
Twitter.
Twitter, and I'm also on Instagram.
There you go. I know, you gotta be on all of them, right?
Yeah.
That's where it's at.
Yep.
So, and you do PR work
I
and
do
all that stuff.
PR with Vicki Locke, and so we have a website, lrkmedia.com.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, will you come back?
I would love to come back.
Yeah,
Thank you.
come co-host with me.
Yes.
We'll tag team Jerry.
Yes. Oh, that would be fun.
Yeah, that would be totally fine.
He's always wanted a threesome, you know.
Oh, he's nuts. He's nuts, I know. Just, he's
I assume
nuts.
your website is not shelf life of atropine sulfate?
No, the sulfate is, yeah.
Let's finish typing that, good.
All right, kids, you wanted to know where to go this weekend, and you've been waiting for Living Atlanta.
That's my tune right there, that's my Shazam. Nice.
Don't believe me, just watch. All right, what are you doing this weekend, Lisa?
Taco Cowboy. I'm
Oh,
there
we can-
every
Oh, I should just go.
Where is it
You've got
again?
to.
I know.
It's the old Noche in Virginia Highlands.
Right.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
in Virginia
yeah.
Highland, yeah, right
Noche closed. I haven't
there.
been to Virginia Highlands forever.
Oh, you gotta come.
I love it, it's a great spot.
Or Flyburger.
Do you have-
Tom also
do you
has
have-
Flyburger at the airport.
Oh, fun.
Concourse B.
There you
gate
go.
26.
Nice.
Best burgers.
Let me ask you, do you have brunch on Sundays?
We are doing a Mother's Day brunch.
Oh, okay.
But we're open 5 o'clock
On Sundays.
on 4 o'clock on Sundays, 5 o'clock every other day
Okay.
till
Nice.
11.
Well,
Uh-huh.
friends of mine went. They had my girlfriend Laura,
Mm-hmm.
and she was telling me. She goes, "Oh, I'm going to Taco Cup." I go, "Oh my gosh, it's supposed to be great there. Tell me." And she loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it. Loved
nice.
it. So
We do
yeah.
Tom's $5 margaritas.
Oh, I like Tom already.
Uh-huh.
My
That's-
kind of
and it's
gal.
fresh lime juice and
Nice.
Nice.
I love that.
He does everything. Well, he's a certified master chef, so
Love
everything
it.
is fresh
Right.
and flown in, and he insists his standards are high. So.
Awesome. We're gonna have
Well,
to
good,
try
because I'm a
that.
certified specialist of wine, so if there's wine listed in that par,
All right.
talk
Well, we're
about
getting ready to redo our wine list.
it.
So
Well, there
maybe
you go.
go.
Call me.
Uh,
There you go. We'll get
hello.
together. Nice.
All right. What are you doing?
I head down to Macon for heading down to the children's home. We got
Right.
we're putting these working on these big cottages. Our building is 111 years old now.
Right.
So we're actually adding new $1 million cottages for the kids. We're very
Oh,
excited to do a
nice.
lot of work.
So
Yeah, it's
sweet.
good stuff. And then Sunday, I'm so excited. My gardening, and so Gibbs Gardens is doing their daffodil celebration, which is they have like 5 triple billion daffodils or whatever it is. And it's have you been up there to Gibbs Gardens? You
No.
gotta go. We gotta
Where
do
is that?
It's not Brasstown Ball, but Ball Town.
Blairstown?
No,
Ball ground?
it's not Ball Ground. That's exactly where it is.
Oh, I'm not
And you are so
I'm not
going there.
going
I don't give it. This is not an option.
not
This is
going
not
there.
for
It's too
discussion.
far.
It's like it's. Oh my
Yeah.
God! Have you been to Gibbs
To go
Gardens?
with Scott. Go with Sky.
Absolutely. I don't know how
Go,
many
bring me
like.
back.
It's
incredible.
it's breathtaking, especially in the spring. We're going, and I want to hear the lip about it. So.
Well, come on. It feels like
good.
New Hampshire up there. I'm not
Well,
going.
we'll get a bus and we'll do a party bus and we'll head up there. Be half lit by the time we get there.
All right.
So yeah.
All right. If I'm had my vodka, then I'll definitely go.
No, I
Absolutely.
know how to push your buttons. Yes.
There you go. I love it. All right. So apparently I'm going to ball ground on Sunday. I don't know, but I have my mom hat on this weekend, so I have to see if this.
How was your mom?
Oh, my mom is awesome, but she's moving back to Boston.
She did not consult me on this.
I know, she is.
No, I'm not digging this.
She's here this weekend though. She's here. She's here until May.
Well, good. I'll see
I'm
her.
moving her up in May.
I'll see her get
But she'll
started.
be back. She'll be back.
Yeah, I
To
know.
come back and forth and
Yeah.
stuff. So yeah, she has a boyfriend up there, so she's moving.
What?
Yes. Yes, my mother.
Hey, tell her to call me.
I know.
She needs my
I
approval.
know.
before you-
Maybe you should have her on in
I
the
know.
seat.
She's funny. No, my mother's funny.
Oh my gosh,
She
she would get
can't.
her word edgewise if her mother was here.
My mother is hilarious. Yeah, no, she's awesome. My mother bought me these boots, by the way.
Obviously.
And she is the best boot buyer this side of
That's
the
sweet.
I love my mother. She buys me great boots.
Kicking good boots.
She's awesome. She's great. So yes, my mom, but it's gonna be sad when she leaves because, you know, we laugh. We have a good time.
Right.
So anyway, so I don't know, if we have sleepovers and stuff like out of my house, I'll be going out. I'll figure out what's going on and I'll definitely be out, but, you know, next weekend, I'm off duty and I'm here.
Holy
So-
moly, lock
So,
your doors.
I will be out and about next weekend.
Fabulous.
So, plus I'll be cooking for Easter, so
Yeah.
I'll be here, so. Anyway, all right, so before you go out, remember, drink responsibly, drive responsibly, call a designated driver, call Uber, call a cab, call a friend, leave your car at the valet, whatever.
Lyft is still doing their
Lyft.
Bert's Big Adventure promo. Hit, I think it's Bert01 and you get your first ride free or something like that. So, but yeah,
There you
check out
go.
the website.
So please do not drink and drive, it's just really stupid. You don't have to.
No, you
You
don't.
know, so, because even when I'm in Boston, even we Uber everywhere. So, okay, so Hammock's Trading Company has half-price apps. They have all these new apps on happy hour all week long. So all different apps, all different days, different apps. That's lots of fun. It's half-price apps at Davio's bar every weekday. What's going on at Taco Cowboy?
Well, Taco Cowboy always has great chef specials.
Nice.
And Burgers with Bucks was with us a couple of weeks ago. I don't know
Love
if
it.
you know that.
I
And
don't.
so we've got his burger again Friday night, the Bucks burger. And then, of course, our $5 margaritas every day.
Yeah, can we
There
say
you
that
go.
one more time? $5.
$5
$5
Just wanna
margaritas.
make
Does
sure
it make them
Now-
skinny?
It is a skinny because it's made with fresh lime juice and fresh agave that we
I
make.
can't
And then
drink
tequila, and
anything
that's
with
it.
Skinny and okay, that's fair. All right.
So that's
I
it.
love it.
But Monday night's my favorite night because it's fried chicken night.
Oh,
There you go.
I
best
love
fried
it.
chicken.
Nice.
I
For
love
somebody
it.
from Newcastle, he makes the best
There you
southern
go.
fried
Love
chicken.
it.
I love it. I love it. Well,
And then there's Taco Tuesday, which is half price taco.
Yeah.
well, I think that's why Jerry wants me to go there,
Oh,
because he said he'll take me,
he'll
but
take
it's
you,
half,
but
I didn't
he'll-
know.
he'll-
I didn't know it was half price.
He comes on Tuesdays because it's half price
As
taco.
long
That
as
is
he's got a
so fun.
coupon.
He's been telling me. He goes. He called me last week. He goes, "Can you go?" And I go, "I'm in Boston. It's a blizzard. I can't go. I can't make it."
He's so funny.
So yeah. So I think we're coming there next
Oh,
Tuesday.
good, okay.
Yeah, we're definitely. He said we're definitely gonna do it. So
Great.
we'll be there. But
All right, I'll be there.
okay. So Deb Bowman is taking a little reprieve from Bread and Butterfly because
She's been working her tail off.
I
Yeah.
love her. She is such
So
a
she's
talent.
She's part of our crowd.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes, she's at Serenbe Playhouse March 28th through April 22nd.
So
playing-
excited! Can I say excited
Little-
about
Little
that?
Mermaid.
Little Mermaid.
Oh, that's right, she's playing,
Ursula.
Ursula.
That's it. Oh, cannot wait.
Love it.
Yes, so maybe we should go up. We should get a group.
Have you been down to Serenbe?
I have not.
Oh, it's so.
It's Serenbe's
Yeah,
fabulous.
Yeah, it is, yeah,
They-
absolutely.
It is, yeah.
We saw her in Streetcar Named Desire, and she was blanched down there. Oh, let me
Oh,
tell you,
right.
she's off
She's
the
awesome.
charts.
I saw her
Yeah.
in the barber of
But, oh,
The Barber of Seville.
Thank you. Couldn't get it out.
Was
Yep.
it was I can't remember it.
Yeah, Barbara Seville. What, her character?
Yeah,
What?
yeah, but she was it was the one I think Johnny Depp played in the
He
movie.
did. Yeah. It was
Oh,
like
right.
What was that? What was that movie?
That was it. Barbara Seville. But yeah.
Yeah, right?
No, Sweeney Todd.
Sweeney Todd.
There it
That's
is,
Nice
Sweeney
work.
Todd.
Good for you.
Okay,
Good for you.
crazy. Yeah, she was awesome in that too. That was great. DJ Vanessa Hunley is
Love.
she is tonight at G's doing Musicology, which is themed karaoke, and every Wednesday she's at Metro Cafe Diner in downtown from 8:30 to 3:30. Every weekday from 5 to 7, Holman and Finch has $1 oysters.
Well,
So- $1
wait,
oysters.
March, April, May. Wait.
Yeah, from
Okay,
5
yeah,
to
good.
7.
All right, we're
Yeah,
happy.
So
Mhm.
you better wait till your wife comes home.
No, yeah.
Just saying. There's music every night at Dixie Tavern City Winery. Venkman's and Venkman's every Tuesday is Joe Granson free jazz jam.
Awesome.
And actually Jerry wants to go. We want to go to Taco Cowboy and then
And
go
then
to
go to.
yeah go see Joe. So anyway,
Joe's a singular talent.
he's lovely. He's been on my show as well. He's awesome, great guy. He brought his trumpet.
Nice.
And thank God I had Sky here because he's like, because I forgot to tell him to play.
Give me a couple weeks. I had my first violin lesson,
Oh.
so I expect to be wailing on Mary Had a Little Lamb like in the next
Come
month or
on,
so.
are you
I'm
playing the
telling
violin?
you. Can you, is that,
you
I'm not
started-
sure
you
you
said
can
first
say my
lesson.
first lesson,
Lesson.
yeah.
Oh my gosh,
So,
that's
yeah,
hilarious.
Yeah, so, okay.
Yes.
When he comes back, Devlin went down to Georgia.
Oh, but
Yeah, there you go.
That's right.
give me a
That's
couple weeks, I'll have
awesome.
it down
Violin
pat.
solo.
Right,
That's
yeah.
awesome. So,
I think
okay.
that's a fiddle, actually.
All right, so-
That's what I'm playing, that's what I got it for, mine's a fiddle, yeah.
That's
yeah.
awesome. So let me get through tonight. We have March Madness, the Sweet 16 at Wild Wing in Dunwoody, and
Nice.
that's, you know, every game, you watch every game and your bracket and all that stuff. It's Industry Night at Star Bar from 8 to 1 a.m. It's Dueling Pianos at 37 Main in Beaufort, and it's at 8:30, and
Great
of course you
venue.
can reserve a table. It's Prince Jam at Red Light
That's
Cafe.
what I was gonna point out, yeah.
From 8 to 11:30, and that's on Amsterdam. That's where Jerry's party was a couple
Right.
weeks ago. And Lime Thursdays at Eclipse de Luna in Dunwoody, and it's Thursday night at the Regent Cocktail Club, and the tunes are being spun by Grace Lamour.
Alrighty then.
It's open mic jam at the Velvet Note in Alpharetta. If you play or you want to hear some new talent, just going out there at 8 o'clock, and they have food and everything out there.
You could go.
Yeah,
No,
there
or
you
not,
go.
or not.
Yeah.
And it's Kings of Karaoke Thirsty Thursday at Wild Wings in Alpharetta.
Yeah.
So I love karaoke, you know I do. And this is fun. Electric Boogie Land, the Studio 54 edition is at Noni's tonight from 10 to 2:30.
Super fun.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to take another quick break, and when we come back, more Living Atlanta. And this song goes out to my Boston birthday peeps, Tasha Lyman, Diane Shalaba, Lisa Palazzolo Cataldo, and Anthony Badaro. Anthony, you know I love you. You know I do. All right, kids. All right.
I don't know how you got through that. That was like the
I know.
entire mafia rolled off your tongue in like half a second.
Hi, Susan! What are you doing? I love it.
Oh, that's funny.
Let me see who's this. I can't see who that is. See, the thing is with the it's
Wait,
double
does it
cakes.
turn that way?
Well, no, it's not just that. With Instagram,
Oh, you
it's not
have
their
that.
name.
Oh,
It's
right.
like,
Oh,
yeah,
they're-
it's
they're-
It's
whatever.
like whatever. It's their handle.
Yeah.
It's their handle. Right? Which is so funny because that word comes from like the CB
The
days.
CB days.
Have you ever had Mackin on here?
No, I asked him to come be on.
He just, I'm just, it needs to happen. If you can find if they can come to the room, the microphone will be like up here, but.
He's
yeah.
very tall.
He's 7'1",
Is he?
something like that. I look him square in the belly button.
That's hilarious.
So,
It's like your other Andrew back there. 6'6". 7'1".
but he just launched his new product line. I'm sure they would.
Is it wrong for me to assume he played basketball? At 7'1"?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Rough year, right?
What?
Your boy's attorney just resigned again.
Who? Tom Brady? Oh, him. Why do you say his name?
Yeah, because he ain't
Wait,
my
who?
boy.
Oh, Trump.
Yeah, let's,
Listen, I'm not getting political
you're
here.
not.
I'm
That's
not.
why I said we're off the air. That's why I
No, I don't know. I don't get political. No, I love everybody. I love everybody. I love everybody.
Yeah, Tom and I can't talk politics.
No,
You're
yes.
just
They're
very
completely different.
Politics and religion.
Yeah.
Yes, we know.
Yeah.
We know. He stirs the pot.
Oh,
I'm not getting my comments coming up for some reason.
Oh, Chuck. Chuck's watching. And Linda. Hi, Linda. Oh, gosh. I want to have people over for dinner on Saturday night, and I can't get anybody because I'm always competing with all this social life.
Well, it's Saturday night. That's just crazy talk.
Why? What's better than that?
Sunday supper.
I'm the best cook. Are you kidding me?
I'm a good cook.
Yeah.
You love to cook.
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
I haven't
like
cooked in 6 years since I met Tom.
Well, you know what? I wouldn't mind that at all. But no, I like it when I can be
When
creative.
it's right.
When
When you had to cook like
You know, with the
kids and it's
and everybody's up your bum and all that
Right,
stuff and
right.
crying, everybody's
Yeah.
crying, they're hungry and you know, I'm hungry and forget it. No, I love being creative and like I like a lot of stovetop cooking so that I'm like creative.
yeah.
Very I like
Well, you know,
that.
I had 2 daughters. I have 2 daughters, but growing up cooking for them. And then when my sister died, I took my nephew in.
Ah.
feeding a boy is completely different than
Right,
feeding.
for boys.
Oh,
That's what I just.
Right.
They
I
won't
can't
go out to
imagine.
eat. They don't want to go out to eat
I can't imagine cooking.
because they want me to cook.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, we're back. We got to get through the rest of the weekend, please. Crazy. Friday, Marcel is having a pop-up lunch, and it's from 11:30 to 3 p.m. And they're going to be having burgers and all that stuff that's only available usually on their late night menu. So that's tomorrow afternoon at Marcel. Friday night is a 50s party at the 57 Fighter
Oh, that's
Group.
fun.
That sounds like fun from 7 to 11. I would like to do that. Friday night blues at Hobnob in Midtown at 9 p.m. At Jimmy's Tequila, it's a Bon Jovi tribute. It's Slippery When Wet, and that's in Doraville from 9 to 2 a.m. Have you been out there, Jimmy's
I
Tequila?
have not.
Carni's? I went there a couple weeks ago. Electric Ave was playing,
Nice.
and it's a great little venue.
Cool.
It's nice. It's a Mexican restaurant, but in the back they have like a big, room with a stage and all that stuff. And it's Havana Fridays from 9 to 3, which is Ladies' Night at Havana. And
I thought every night was ladies' night.
I know.
Pretty much.
It's kind of like Hal's.
Pretty much.
Right.
Well, 20 years younger. but
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. It's TGIF at the Regent Cocktail Club, and Joey Casanova's spinning the
Oh,
tunes there.
Joey,
Yeah.
nice.
So Saturday is Cardio Blast at Body Design Personal Training from 10 a.m. to 10:45. They run your butt off through Georgia Tech. It's a lot of fun. At the Strand in Marietta, it's the music of Hall & Oates and Huey Lewis.
Ah.
Yeah,
Did I
3 to
miss it?
11.
The Strand? Are you kidding?
From on
When's this?
Saturday night.
Shut up.
Yeah,
I mean, no, shut up.
That's
We
why
should
you have
get
to
it.
listen to Just Steph.
Yeah.
You might find something out. It might be interesting, right?
That's my neighborhood.
Saturdays at the Regent at 9 p.m. And of course, Grace Lamore is back. I can't help it. I love it. Okay, Band X is at Wild Wing Cafe in Alpharetta on Saturday night at 10 p.m.
Love those guys.
Blizzard
Yeah,
of
I do
Ozzy,
too.
which is Ozzy Osbourne Black Sabbath experience at 37 Main in Beaufort, and that's from 10 to 2 a.m. And it's their 10-year anniversary party at 37 Main.
Oh, that's going to be
Yeah,
awesome.
Sunday-
Great venue.
Sunday, JCT Kitchen and Bar is having a Lexus launch party from 1 to 5.
Nice.
And it's Chef Ford's favorite dishes. Chef for Fry's favorite dishes from the beginning to
Say that
now.
fast.
Yeah, and it's
I
$50.
love Chef Ford.
He's actually coming on here in the next couple of months.
Oh,
So,
nice.
yeah, I'm going to try and do a fun chef a month. So,
Yeah.
That's great.
yeah. So,
I'd offer up Tom, but he's from Newcastle. I don't know if you'd understand him.
I will.
He
We
speaks Geordie.
put up with her.
Oh, that's
So, yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
true.
So I know, really. 6 p.m. on Sundays, Wild Wing Cafe Dunwoody has a full house hold'em poker tournament.
When?
every week.
Sunday?
Yes.
Oh.
It's going to be. It's like from the people that bring you karaoke. They're running these poker tournaments. So Johnny's Hideaway. It's Home Bra is your music, and that's at 8:30. It's a $5 cover.
Johnny's.
And Saturday Night Comedy Fest it's an open mic competition at the Punchline from 9 to 10.
Where's the
45.
punchline now? I have
It's
been to
with,
the same moves.
it's with a Landmark
It's
Diners.
Landmark Diner.
Oh, get out! I missed that. Okay, because they opened up. Remember the place we did Red Dress, Cosmopolitan on Delk Road.
Right,
That's going to be a new punchline right now, right?
It's something, I don't know,
I think
there's
so,
something
yeah.
going on there, but
Yeah.
I did see that, but I don't really know.
I haven't checked it out. I'll come back and get a full report.
So there's lots of good stuff happening and going on here, and then I don't know what's going. We'll go to Taco
Taco
Cowboy
Cowboy
on
for
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah, and Joe Branson's Jazz Jam.
Yeah.
It's like all these tongue twisters.
That's
I'm having a problem
why you
today.
stick with Mark Phillips. It rolls off the tongue.
I know,
Yeah.
there it is.
Yeah.
I know. The Rat Pack crew.
Rat Pack Crew.
Yeah, so but there's lots of stuff. So next week we'll be talking about where to go for brunch for Easter, and of course now we know Taco Cowboy is
For
going to be
Mother's
on.
Day.
I'm sorry, they're on
Yeah.
Mother's Day. Thank you for correcting. We always do that too. So next week we'll talk about, because I know like New York Prime is going to be opening a little early for Easter, and there's lots of brunches going on. And next Thursday there's a celebrity happy hour at Davio's.
Fab.
So, so that's always fun, and they always have great food there and passed around, and Steve usually goes, Steve DiFilippo. He's been on this new diet that they're promoting in Boston called the Awaken 150.
Okay.
Yes, and he's been on the radio, and they actually put a menu. It's a separate menu at Davio's if you are on this diet.
Oh, neat.
So it's mostly but it's portion control,
Okay.
but it's not no carbs, no sugar.
Yeah, we're getting ready to go on this big diet. We're lots of things, looking at different ones. And a buddy of mine was on this one. He eats 6 times a day, and on his first day, he lost 1 pound. Eating 6 times a
Rubbed
day.
out the metabolism.
Well, I guess so, because whatever it is working. So yeah.
Well, I think most programs work if you do them.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Right. Oh, is that what it takes?
Right.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
if you do them, but I think
See,
that.
nobody told me that part.
But I also think you have to have the right mindset.
Right.
Because I've been in with nutritionists, and I'm exactly perfect.
Yeah, I'll keep telling you that.
And no, perfect. Thank you.
Oh, sorry.
Perfect on the program, and I actually have gained weight, and I think it's my negativity, that I'm just not right in my head.
Well, I've been telling you that too.
Yeah, I
so,
know.
all right, good.
I know. I had my eyes examined. I should have had my head examined.
That's right.
So, but yeah, totally crazy. But yeah, I think that I think programs work if you're
ready for them.
if you're ready and you want to follow something. I think you have to change the mindset.
Oh yeah.
Right.
You're fueling your body, you're taking care of your body, you're caring for your body, and if you have that mindset and everything's well, I think things, if you follow something, you'll be happy. So what, you're going to start a new diet?
We're taking a look at which ones. Yeah. We're cutting back and doing all the
Right.
basic stuff, but we're looking to get in a program. So.
And we're going to Taco Tuesday.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's pretty
Yes,
much on the list.
so
So
I think I'm going to go.
we'll
I
have
mean,
one of those cheat days. Yeah, so
It'll be a
good.
cheat day.
We'll make Tuesday the cheat day.
Yeah.
Well, since the wife's away this weekend and I'm home with my son, we can stay home and be good on the diet, and then go to Taco Tuesday and
Fabulous.
blow it out with margaritas.
It's a win-win.
My problem is the chips.
Oh yeah.
I can't. You know what? I cannot stop.
I know. And
Like,
we
I
have the
can't- it
best-
doesn't matter if
the
I'm
best
full.
Fresh fried chips.
I know, but even if I'm full, I
You
can't
can't
stop.
stop?
I can't. I'm bad. I know. I will stop though. I'm gonna. That's bad. Positive. That's not a good positive
Right.
affirmation. I'm gonna do my positive affirmations. I can stop
stop.
eating the
Right.
chips. I won't eat any chips. I'll just say it
Yeah,
every
good
day.
luck with that.
Yeah. I know. Good luck. I'll convince myself.
We
In
got
the Uber.
We got La Paria right. Literally around the corner of my house. And it's
I
like
know.
weird.
Yeah.
And they bring in the forklift with the margaritas and they put them on the table. It's like
I love that.
Yeah, so it's.
I love it.
But the chips.
All right.
yeah.
So Lisa, you'll definitely come back.
Oh, most definitely.
Yes.
Thank you.
So your website again?
Shelflifeofatrophywife.com.
That's it. Yay! And you have to come back.
Well, okay.
He
then.
doesn't have a choice.
He
Yeah,
doesn't
right.
have a choice. Yeah, we
It's in my
always have a good
contract.
time. Yeah. So, and I'll be back.
Well, shocker.
And I'll definitely be back. But you know what? I'm everywhere. I'm on Facebook. Please follow me, people. Follow me on Facebook. I have my Just Steph page in Living Atlanta for where to be this weekend. I am on Twitter at Steph Palermo, Instagram, Just Steph1. I'm on Snapchat. I think it's Just Steph.
Mhm.
But, my nieces set it up for me. So I'm going to have the interns help me out with the Snapchat.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm on YouTube, so all of this is going to be on YouTube, and I'm on SoundCloud, and I'm a podcast on iTunes.
Wow.
So I am everywhere. I'm like savoir-faire is everywhere. So yeah, so I'm everywhere, but you need to follow me if you want to find out what's going on and all the fun stuff, and my Ruby Slipper workshops and all of that, and all my good learning advice that I've learned myself through the years. So that's it. So follow me, and we'll see you guys later. And next week I'll be back, and I don't know what I'm doing next week. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. I'll figure it out this week.
Bye.
All right.
Enjoy your
Love
week,
you.
beautiful
Yay.
people.
I love you all. Wishing you love, balance, and peace. Ciao, ciao, baby. Love you.
And out.
And